Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Zach Chapman here with Shaggy TV, and we're presenting to you Old Timers Tuesday. The Coast to Coast members ages 55 and up. Well, every Tuesday night they get ready to play for, first they head into the dirt. Then we go play on some asphalt. So a weekly doubleheader. If you're 55 and older and you enjoy racing, this may be the league for you. Head to C2CRL.com and find out more in the info tab. We also have some charity, or a charity event, I should say, coming up. And, well, you know, you're going to hear more about that from me as the night goes on. Let's get ready to take a look here. No qualifying. Random draw heat race number 1, and looky who draws the pole. Big move there for the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Will he be able to hold on to it here throughout the heat race? My guess would be yes, but we'll have to see. Rounding out the field, starting on the inside of row 4 in the 055, Mr. Wednesday Night Brian Morris Sr. Row number 3 to the outside, the 41 of the librarian Pat Boyce, and to his inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row number 2 to the outside, the 014 of GJ Greg Boydell, and to his inside, the mare Steven Bixler. Row number 1 for heat race number 1 to the outside in the 012, Bob Curtis. Good to have you back, Bob. And to his inside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. As we get ready to go, this time by, I think, The Steve King Foundation pace car will head off. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 6 laps to play in the clay at Eldora Speedway. We're underway. Big jump out front there for Bob DeGood. Or Bob Curtis, excuse me, but no harm, no foul. He just came back. I don't think anybody is really going to hate that one. But Dino, contact between the Mare and Bob Curtis. Bob came down, the Mare's there. Contact now between the 41 and the 75. They bounce off each other twice. Brian Moore gets a little piece as he tries to go by Mr. Wednesday Night up to P3. GJ Boydell, well, I got a little birdie told me. If he finishes on the podium tonight, I don't think we're going to hear from Greg. I think he's got a headset malfunction, but he's looking pretty good right now at the halfway point up to P2. But this man is on a tear, riding up front where you want to be, right on that outside wall as I clicked the wrong turn. But now we get to see him rolling in. Dino looking good upstairs. Now he's going to go down to that middle, play around a bit. No reason to kill himself up there. It's all about searching, maybe finding speed where you didn't know it was. And now we're going to have a battle here for P2 as the white flag flies. Going down the backstretch, Mr. Wednesday Night to the top shelf. Can he get around? Checkered flag flies. Dean Reynolds wins heat race number 2, and Brian Moore Sr. with a pass coming out of 4. He takes P2 over GJ Boydell, Pat Boyce, Bob DeGood, Steve Bixler, and Bob Curtis round out the field for heat race number 1. Let's take a look at the starting grid here for your second and final heat race at the Eldora Speedway. Row number 3 to the outside in the 87, the General Andy Patton, and to his inside, the 70 of Mike Cramner. Row number 2 on that top shelf, the Bass Man in the 747, Roger Craig. And to his inside is Canadian brother in the 302, John Rayner. Row number 1 to the outside, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. And to his inside in the 513, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Roll around here for the final time before the green flag flies. Can Jeff Barker hold on, or will Terry Landis get a big run on this top shelf? He's sure going to try. Green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. Jeff Barker trying to make it work downstairs, but here comes the Desert Demon up top. Can he find a way around? Not just yet. It's going to be close at the line. The Bassman made it work. He moves on up to P3. He's able to get around the 302 as Andy Patton. Now it's time to go to work. He thought maybe it'd get exciting that first lap. Got to sink the teeth in now. You got to go get it. He's gotten 2 guys this lap. Andy Patton started 6th, battling for 4th. Gonna complete it this time. Coming out of 2 is Terry Landis. Takes over the lead out front as Jeff Barker throws it back in. Can't do it. Terry Landis at the halfway point. Roger Craig seeing the 87 get awful close. Andy Patton in that A&J Custom Creations 87. Got that top line rolling, but now he's looking at the tail tank here in the 747. Is he going to be able to do anything? Can he find a way around? Oh! He almost gets into the tail tank in the 747. Big set now into 3 and 4 as the white flag flies for your leader. One more trip around. Andy Patton gets the pass done. Roger Craig coming back for a little more slider in 1 and 2. Final time through 3 and 4. Terry Landis has this thing locked up as the checkered flag flies. He wins heat race number 2, followed by Jeff Barker, Andy Patton, Roger Craig, Mike Cramner, and John Rayner. And with that, we're going to take a quick break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we'll be right back with your first of 2 features here this evening. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Just about ready to roll into tonight's 360 feature here at the Eldora Speedway. Brian Moore Sr., your quick time. Terry Landis, Andy Patton, Greg Boydell, Pat Boyce. One name you don't see there, Dean Reynolds. I think that's for a reason. You know, what do they say in poker? You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them. He's holding them right now. He doesn't want anybody else to see what he can do, I bet. Here, before we even do the starting lineup, I'll just go ahead and nail off Dean Reynolds. He's my pick for the win tonight. I would be shocked if Dino didn't bring home the victory. But let's take a look here. The 0-1-2 of Bob Curtis rounds out the field in P13, row number 6 to the outside. The 302 of John Rayner into his inside, the mayor, Steve Bixler. Row number 5, the 70 of Mike Cramner into his inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Row number 4, the Bassman, Roger Craig, and the 747, and his inside, the 41 of the librarian, Pat Boyce. Row number 3, the General Andy Patton in the 87 lines up on the outside, and to his inside, the 014 of GJ Boydell. Row number 2 to the outside, the 513 of the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker, into his inside, Brian Moore Sr. Row number 1 for your 360 feature here at the Eldora Speedway on the outside, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, and his inside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. As we go around one more time, 25 laps to play here at Eldora Speedway. Dino gives the fans what they wanted, a wheelie going down the front stretch. I perfectly positioned those cameras for Dino and his wheelies. I'm telling you, you may not believe me, but I really do. I like seeing those wheelies, and if he decides to pull one down the backstretch, see? Dino wheelie camera number 2. He doesn't. He decides to stay calm. He knows it's ready to go. As we roll into 3 for the final time, the Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 25 laps to play in the clay at Eldora Speedway. We're underway. Man, you could hear those pyros go off in the background. That kind of sketched me out. Clicked the wrong camera button. But Terry Landis, he looks to the inside. He's got company. Brian Moore Sr. on the move. Up to P2, starting 3rd. We saw him at the top of the charts there in warm-ups. You know he's got speed. But the battle's on behind him. The Brewerton Beast, he's got to lift. He's got to check up. GJ Boydell to the inside, looking under the Desert Demon. Yellow flag flies. Yellow flag flies, the Bassman, Roger Craig. And I believe the 41 of Pat Boyce. Let's see here. Pat slides up, Roger's home, hard in the wall. Over and over the 41 goes. Roger makes it home. He gets into the side of the 41, though, there. And that's actually nice of him. I do think that was intentional, but in a good way. These guys have unlimited quick repairs. He knew he was going to have to quick repair anyway. But Pat, I believe, able to land on all 4. Still towed anyway. Roger tried to do him a favor, though. As Dino paces the field here at Eldora. Lights still on the racetrack. So we're going to go around at least one more time. Lots of racing left to go here at the Big E, that's for sure. So don't go anywhere. The action's just starting here at the Eldora Speedway. We'll see here. Do we get the... Yeah, the lights are off here. We're going to get ready to go back racing. This time as the 79 of Dean Reynolds chooses the outside. We'll have to see if that allows Brian Moore Sr. the chance to get a good jump here. Can he close in on the 79 of Dean Reynolds as the green flag's high? It's ready to fly. Dino drops the hammer. Great restart. Good jump in the 79. Gonna try to walk away with this thing. Meanwhile, they battle behind him. Jeff Barker to the outside. He gets a good run on the Desert Demon. And here comes the General Andy Patton. We saw him start at the back, the tail end of his heat race. Patient on those first 2 laps. Decided it was go time. And here comes the General, moving his way on up, trying to work his way around the 171. Or 161, excuse me. Saw that 7. It was fresh on my mind. Bob the Good to the inside. He's watching 3 wide in front of him. The Mayor thinking about forcing it. He had to crack the throttle. Mike Cramner shut the door as Brian Moore Sr., you see, keep in touch with Dino, but not close enough to make a move yet here. Will he think about striking? Dean hitting his marks out front, playing it smooth. But that Yellow Jacket's inching in. He's going to be close enough to sting here in a couple laps. We'll take a look. Reeled him in about 1/10.5 the last 2 laps. Coming around this time. What's the lap time look like this time? Close enough for Brian to think about making a move. But Dino had actually gapped him a little bit. Man, oh man. We're not even halfway here at Eldora. Steve Bixler working his way on up through the field. Started 11th. Up to 7th. Can the Mayor find a way around the 014? Greg floated up but left him a lane. The Mayor sends it in. And the Mayor completes the pass at the line. GJ Boydell one last send. He's going to leave the lane open though. Good clean race in there for the 6th position. Jeff Barker looking at that final podium spot. He's looking to get under Terry Landis. Can the Brewerton Beast find a way around? The answer is no, just not enough grip on the bottom in 1 and 2. He's a new man over here in 3 and 4, though. Reels him back in. And who is that? Is that Bob Curtis with a wounded animal there? I don't think that 012's turning right. No caution. And Brian Moore Sr. big send it 1 and 2 slide job. Dino with the crossover. Dean Reynolds slides back up, closes the door as we come to the line. 12 laps to go for the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Can he hold off the 55 of Brian Moore Sr.? Terry Landis, he's seeing Jeff Barker reeling back in. The Brewerton Beast stuck to that bottom and through 3 and 4 side by side. Give it to the 513 at the line. Brian Moore Sr., oh so close, he can taste it. Does he send it into 1 and 2? The answer is yes. Does he slide it? No, he's going to keep it on the bottom. Slide on exit. Dino with a hiccup in the middle of the corner. And we got a battle for the lead. Short slide job by Brian Moore Sr. Dino saw it coming. He goes to the bottom. He's going to counter. We got a lap car coming to the 302. John Rayner, hold on to your hats. Brian Moore Sr. with the advantage right now. Rayner try. Oh, caution! Caution! Flag flies! What a time for the caution flag to fly. And who was the leader at the line last time by? We'll have to find out after we take a look at this replay. The 012 of Bob Curtis involved. And I think the lap car maybe somehow... he loses the race car, comes down, and Jeff Barker, who had just passed for P3, you see the Desert Demon behind. Does he get involved as well? No, he's able to float down underneath. But Jeff Barker not so lucky, and after a great run for the 513, he's got to go and try to get it all back here with not a lot of time left. Brian Moore Sr., though, is your leader. As he was able to win the battle to the line the previous lap. Let's cheat a little bit here. 0.048, that was the gap at the line, so basically 0.05 of a second. But man, oh man, is that the difference? Can Dino find a way back around? Or Now that Brian Moore is out front all by himself, can he control the pace? Can he keep the rest of the field behind him? Easier said than done. The 302 comes back. He's going to the top shelf. He's trying to get that lap back. Able to get around, but he's got to hurry up because the leaders are going to get set to roll here. Gonna go back racing at the Big E. Brian Moore Sr. drops the hammer. We're back underway. Steve Bixler with a big jump on the top shelf. Not sure if he completed that pass before the line or not, but... And Dean Reynolds with also another rough start. Brian Moore Sr. up the road a little bit. Dino's going to go up to that top shelf, going to try to beat it down. Real Brian Moore Sr. back in. Does exactly that. Right to the tail tank through 3 and 4. 6 laps to go. Brian Moore Sr. trying to hold off the 79, but here comes Dino. Brian Moore Sr., though, with a great run through 3 and 4. And there you see Terry Landis, the Desert Demon. He's keeping in touch with these guys. If the two up front start misbehaving, beating and banging, Terry Landis is going to find himself ready for some dinner here. 4 laps to go. If you're Dean, do you make your move now or do you wait till the last lap? You know Brian's probably going to shut the door on that final lap. He looks now through 3 and 4, not able to get the grip off exit. With 3 laps to go, Brian Moore Sr., the man out front. Can he hold on? Dean Reynolds gets into the backstretch wall. With 2 laps to go, Brian Moore Sr. with a 1.3 second lead. And that's going to be about all she wrote unless Dean can really hammer the next 8 corners. Through 3 and 4. White flag in his hands. It flies. This is going to be the last lap here at the Big E. Brian battled hard. Was stuck there in second, slider after slider with Dino. Paid off. Final time through 3 and 4. Mr. Wednesday Night wins at the Eldora Speedway. Dean Reynolds P2, Terry Landis third, Steve Bixler up 7 spots, P4, and the General Andy Patton rounds out the top 5. But man, oh man, this man, Brian Moore Sr., gets it done at the Big E. Congratulations to Mr. Wednesday Night. As we hear those pyros go off in the background again, I'm at least aware of it this time. I'm not scared. But boy, great run there for the 55 of Brian Moore Sr. Definitely one of Shaggy's favorites, and, well, I'll be excited to talk to him here. Let's give these drivers a minute or two to catch their breath, and, well, we'll give a talk to the Desert Demon Terry Landis here first. And, well, we cannot deal with this. That is absolutely ridiculous. Pretend we didn't see any of that. Now we got it on the correct cameras. As we try to hunt down the Desert Demon Terry Landis. He's there in the waiting room. We'll pull him up.
Oh, yeah.
I pull him up every time. Yes. Congratulations, Terry, man. Maybe not the way, you thought you were going to get it. You were in a tough battle with Jeff Barker, and, well, you saw the unfortunate accident to him ended up being your benefit. But, hey, man, you got to take it. Able to put the Yoo-Hoo machine on the podium once again. How you feel?
Oh, man, I'm super excited. I looked down. I mean, I figured I'd run in the top, and next thing you know, here Barker on the bottom. There he goes right by me. I'm like, holy crap. So as soon as I got down there and followed him. And then that one lap, I don't know what happened. I just decided, let me try the inside there, and I just squeaked by him, I guess. When Bob cut down in front of Jeff there. I mean, he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, truthfully, I just saw, I hadn't seen your car on the racetrack, and when I clicked on it, you were the guy who I was talking about. I was wondering if you were going to make it through. I couldn't believe you snuck in that little gap, but, man, it proved to be just enough. And,
Yeah.
Well, how this is racetrack's a little different. Obviously, okay, we're racing in the comfort of our homes, but long racetrack, and we had fairly long green flag runs. Do you find it more tiring to run at an Eldora versus maybe a short track, or is it the other way
Oh,
around?
no, the short tracks wear me out more than these tracks, yeah.
Well,
'Cause always gotta try and hit that bottom, and that gets me, a little excited sometimes, hit them tractor tires.
yeah, I always find it at these high speed tracks, so I have a tougher time hitting my marks, because I just want to really push it and find that speed.
Right.
I just don't have the ability that you guys do. It shows, man. You're on the podium again. Congratulations, Terry. Who you want to thank?
Thanks, Shaggy. Um, Mauer Farm Management for doing what they do, and Galen's Homegrown Popcorn put the word part in the code, and you'll get 50% off price old track parts. And this green thing here is called Shaggy TV, and you and my wife Judy.
Well, hey, hell of a job, Terry. I'll be looking forward to talking to you again after this asphalt race, man. Good luck.
Hey, thanks, Shaggy.
And now we're going to pull up the man who finished P2 as we click over to his car. Wrong car. Dino, man, you were out front there for a while, but it just seemed like untimely caution right as you're getting ready to come around and you're dealing with the lap traffic. But talk to us about your race.
Yeah, my funny, me and Brian didn't know who was leading when that yellow came out, and I was going in the top of 3 and 4, and John was there, and his car slid up, and I got out of the gas, and didn't want to take him out or anything, even though he's getting lapped and stuff, but you want to pass him clean, and then the yellow came out, and Brian was the leader, and I said, okay, that's all right, so maybe we'll start throwing him some sliders and see what we can do, and every time I was ready to get him on a slider, something would happen, and and I just couldn't get that run. There was a couple times he got really sideways up top, and I let off, and then, by the time I let off, he'd pull out a little bit, and then just as I was ready to get him on the back straightaway, I threw the damn thing right in the wall.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. After you get into the wall there with a couple to go, what goes through your head? Do you realize, hey man, I'm points racing, I can take a P2 every now and then?
Yeah, well, it was funny. I probably jinxed myself. I sent Ross Carenta a message. I said, hey, I'm trying to pull a Ross Carenta when he won every single race in the Rebels that one year. And, I had a goal to see if maybe I can do that. But, there's a lot of fast guys here, and that would have been an accomplishment. And, do I think I threw one away? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I think Brian was faster than me. He ran that top a little bit better. I don't know what it is, but on the fixed 360s, my force feedback seems to be going in and out. It did that Wednesday at Houston's last week where they ran that fixed Hometown Heroes, and I was just had to tiptoe it on the top a little bit, but that's no excuse. That top was thin, and Brian just hit it right just a few times more than I did, and he earned the win. And hey, we'll take second. And like I said, my goal is to try to see if we can take this trophy home. So we'll take second. I think I had a 0x, and hopefully if we did, we'll get 5 bonus points with that.
Sounds like the Super Dirt Car Series is looking for a sim wheel sponsorship.
Well, it's not the wheel, it's my computer, and I actually got a new computer. It's been sitting in my floor for about a month. Dylan Dewar built me a whole brand new computer, all the bells and whistles and everything. I just been trying to find time to hook it up, and B, I got a left leg that's in a boot, and I can't walk around too good and put weight on it, and I'm afraid to carry it and get it all set up and drop it and all that crap. So I think I might put Megan to work here and help me set that thing up, because I can't be giving away these races with a bad wheel. And DJ spent a lot of time to put this computer together, and I really need to get that thing going. It's just my fault on that, but we'll get her put together.
Well, hey, great run tonight, Dino. With the long list of wins, there's nothing wrong with a P2 right behind it. Congratulations, man. Good points tonight. Who you want to thank?
No, and finishing second to more senior. I mean, we call him Mr. Wednesday Night. He's when you come to fix the 360 racing, man, he's a guy to reckon with. I mean, he even with the Spanglers and the Chapmans and and Chathams and stuff, Brian's right there. So congratulations to him. Got to thank you, Shaggy, for Shaggy TV for doing this. Mauer Farm Management for providing the funding so Shaggy can bring this to the homes and everything. Got to thank Sherry, Anthony Morano's wife, for letting him race and being part of the FTM team. Got to thank the FTM team as well. Gotta thank Scotty Rielman his tap dancing lessons. Shaggy, next time he's in a podium, we gotta ask him about that. He'll tell you all about that. And gotta thank Swan Speech Up for the dig, for the Swan for the 358 and big block sets, codename C2C, 20% off. Gotta thank Super Dirt Car Series, World of Outlaws, and Dirt Vision. Shaggy, I told you I'm gonna get this sheet here and I'm gonna put it on the right so I can read it. But in all seriousness, again, thank you again for giving these guys a place to race and get on TV. So it's really cool. Hopefully their families are enjoying it. And I got to go do a 358 league, and then we'll see you tomorrow night for Hometown Heroes.
Well, hey, give them hell, Dean. Great run tonight. It was a lot of fun to watch, and look forward to talking to you again here the rest of the week, man. Yeah,
and congratulations to Terry Landis on his third. I mean, he's getting the podiums every week too. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, he's hoping for you to make that one slip up, but you just haven't done it yet. He's been there creeping right behind you every week. But
it was funny on the start. I mic'd up. I go, Terry, you want to switch? Because he was on the outside and I was on the bottom, and he goes, now I'm starting to like this outside. He go, come on, grab you and get on the bottom where you belong.
Yeah, so, if you go back and listen to his interview, that didn't take long because, Jeff Barker had an unfortunate incident with a lap car, but he got by him on the bottom. And once Terry saw the bottom working, he immediately moved back downstairs.
Well, during that whole race, my spotter was saying, fastest time P2, fastest time P3, fastest time P2. That's disheartening because I'm not in any of those positions. So that's all I kept on saying the whole race. I'm like, I got to step up my game here. So it just shows how good they are. But thanks again, Shaggy, and congratulations, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, congratulations, Dean. Good luck the rest of the night, man. Have fun.
Thanks, brother.
That's Dino bringing home the P2. And now we bring up the man who made him wait long enough. But Brian, boy, oh boy, you gave us a hell of a show tonight. Dean was dangling that carrot, slider after slider. Talk to us about the race, man.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, Dean, he was hard to get around there. I kept trying to get inside of him, and then he'd get back away from me. But I kept reeling him back in, so I thought, man, I know I'm faster than him. But and then I heard the announcers or my spotters say that third place just hit the fastest lap. So I thought, man, if that's Landis, he's running the bottom. So the bottom might be coming in. So I went to the bottom in 1 and 2 in that one corner. And when I come out of the corner, I was ahead of him. So I thought, wow, hey, that worked.
Yeah, but, you caught me by surprise. Like, if you're being honest, be honest with me here for a second. When you sent that into 1 and 2, because you do the late move coming up, did you think there was a chance you were going to be in front of him? Because, I mean, if you go back and listen to my voice, you shocked the hell out of me. I didn't know that grip was down there.
No, when I did that, I shot for the bottom. I think the first time I did it, I slid up in front of him. And that didn't work. He just buzzed right back by me. So I thought, man, I got to do something else. And then, like I said, when they said that third place hit the fastest lap, I thought, well, that bottom's coming in. So I drove it into the bottom hard as I could. And like I've been saying, them modifieds have been helping me learn how to run the bottom better. And I think that's what kept me on the bottom good. So when I come out of the corner, I couldn't believe it myself. I thought, wow, man, I think I'm ahead of him. And I didn't see him come back by me. So I kind of tried to do the same thing in 3 and 4. And that's when I think he got back up beside me. But if it wasn't for that lap car being there, I think he would have went back by me.
Well,
that was fun.
Yeah, man, it looked like a lot of fun. And, I mean, there at the end, once you got out front, you perfectly timed that restart, man. You just walked away. You showed them who the dog was tonight. Congratulations, Brian. Big win, man. Who you want to thank?
All right, thanks. Who is it? Meyer tonight? Meyer Farms?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Thank them for sponsoring this thing, man. If they didn't do it, we don't know what we'd do tonight. But and then I got to thank you, Shaggy, for putting the broadcast on, and got to give Rona a shout out. Holler at my brother Rick and just the guys in SSR or SRC. But and Dean, man, I got to give him a shout out. We race each other, and we seem to be by each other quite a bit on the track lately. But man, he races me clean. He doesn't try to block me. He doesn't try to steal my line, and that's racing there. That's being a competitor, and that's
No,
fun.
yeah, and it translates to a hell of a broadcast and an even better race when you guys race each other like that close and hard. Congratulations, Brian, man. As we watch this thing pull up on the podium, you timed this thing perfectly.
Right.
Man, are we gonna see you in the asphalt, or are you gonna take the night off here?
Man, I've been wanting to run one of them asphalt races, but I haven't seen one that's been to a track that I have yet. So not tonight. Maybe later tonight. I think they're running an asphalt race at Charlotte. I might show up for that.
Well, Brian, if we have you, we'll be happy. But if not, congratulations on the big win tonight, man. This was a well-fought win. You're in this one. Congratulations.
All right. Thank you, Shaggy.
That's your winner, Brian Moore Sr. As we step away for a minute or two, gonna roll the ad, get up the new session, and we'll be right back with some asphalt racing here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for your Mauer Farm Management Old Timers Tuesday. Stick around.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get right when we talked about it.
Well, We started the race here at Talladega. We forgot there wasn't lights, so on account of Mother Nature, they started qualifying already. Terry Landis, the Desert Demon, he's currently P1. As they roll around, Roger Craig coming around. He's got purple through Sector 1. What does he do his second time around? The Bass Man. Only P9 for having a purple Sector 1. May have messed up Sector 2 somehow, but looking like everybody but the Librarian has qualified. If the cameras are a little too loud, we haven't messed around with Talladega in a while, so I'll fidget with things here and there, try to adjust things. As the 012 rolls around, he just cruising in the pit stop here, possibly practicing a pit stop. Roger Craig doing the same thing here. He's going to come to a stop, and just like that, that's going to do it for qualifying here at Talladega. Terry Landis, Greg Boydell, Mike Cramner, your top 3. Bob Curtis, Steve Bixler round out the top 5. So we should get ready to roll here any minute. And well, you're going to get to see, let's see. Nah, not necessary. Not necessary, Zach. Settle down. All right, let's take a look here at the starting grid. Need to go back a little bit here. Rounding out the field, P13 in the 41, the Librarian, Pat Boyce. Row number 6 to the outside, the 25 of Gary Sigelkow, and to his inside, the 325 of Willie Bill Calder. Row number 5 on the outside, Scott Zeneker in the 143, and to his inside, the 747 of the Bassman, Roger Craig. Row number 4 on the outside, the General Andy Patton in the 87, and to his inside, the 37 of Tim Chapman. Row number 3 on the top shelf, the 302 of John Rayner, and to his inside, the 75 of the Mayor, Stephen Bixler. Row number 2 on the outside, the 012 of Bob Curtis, and to his inside, the 70 of Mike Cramner. Row number 1 for, I believe, you know what? Actually, let's cheat here. Let's cheat. 40 laps, good. I was going to say 45 if I'm being honest with you. But starting on the outside of row number 1, the 014 of G.J. Boydell. And to his inside on the pole, the Desert Demon in the 161, Terry Landis. As we roll around here, just pace at Talladega, the sun getting ready to set. Driver's ready to drop the hammer. Should be a good one at the Talladega Super Speedway, even though it says Eldora up top. We're gonna change that because every time we switch races, well, I forget to change it. I don't think, with it being real long, I don't think it would like the word super in there, but let's try it. Let's just see what we have here. Yeah, no, it extends the box a lot. You know what? We'll see. We'll see. We'll roll with it here. I'll delete super if it ends up getting in the way, but for right now, not too bad. Got Joe Canella's out there watching. Gary Sigelkow, he's in the car now. Should be. He is in that 25 machine. As we roll around through 3 and 4, we get ready to go this time by. As the Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off The 161 machine of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, gets set to drop the hammer. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 40 laps at Talladega Super Speedway. Mike Cramner wasting no time, giving the 161 a little bump. Go into the starter's stand, and we're ready to race here at Talladega. 3 in the frame up front here as we zoom out, take a look. Caution flag already flying. The 143 of Scott Zeneker. He goes around. Let's see if we can take a look here. We're already going 3 wide. And just comes slightly down across the nose, or Bill comes up. But either way, 3 wide into turn 1. Little too early, and the caution flag flies. Now, if you're Terry Landis out front, do you consider... I guess, you wouldn't even consider it at this point in time, if we're being honest. And I'll tell you what, I do actually want to have a camera. So you're going to get to see how I do this here real quick. I would like, as we go under, I would like a starter camera here. So have to remember that that is pit lane. Or listed as pit lane for me. Not that that really matters to you all out there, but the Desert Demon catches up to the, or is catching up to the pace car. Pace car will start to woe down here as it enters 3. Does. Terry Landis tightening on up. Mike Cramner currently running P3. I'm anxious to see if all these guys behave and woe down in time. That's what we're kind of taking a look at here. Getting pretty close there on the backstretch between some of them. Well, for now, the Desert Demon out front watching the laps tick off under caution. As well, like I say, I have not done one. That is going to bug the heck out of me, too. We gotta rewind this just a second here, because you're gonna see what that does. I don't want the crowd people disappearing, and we're gonna raise this up a little bit because it's just ridiculous. 100% on your broadcaster. I'm telling you, I didn't read it as Talladega. I thought we were back at Daytona again, and plenty of camera packs for Daytona. I could have sat my butt on here at any point this afternoon and fudged around some cameras. No excuses out of me today. You gotta think here, 50, right around the 50-second per lap mark. So do the math here. We stayed green. We got about, I don't know, right around a half hour of green flag running. Something like that. So I think if they would stay green, I think they're looking at 2 pit stops. Just I'm trying to think of time and their fuel load in my head. I'm so used to thinking it on time from road racing, not necessarily laps. But I think they'd get maybe 16, 17 laps here. Maybe that's a little too much, as I think they were getting around that at Daytona. Maybe cut it down to 15. I have to see here. They definitely, it's a guessing game here for me until we play around here for a couple laps and I get to see what their fuel loads look like, or what lap they're hitting pit road. That would let me know what their fuel load is looking like. Another thing, you guys have heard me talk about it before. It's not exactly the most fun conversation, but when you're out front, you're cutting through that air, man. Just think about sticking your hand out the window. It's a lot easier if you do it behind the side mirror. And that's what the 70 and the 75 get to do right now. So we get ready to go back green here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Terry Landis, if they keep him out front, he is going to burn through fuel faster than anyone else as the green flag's high. It's flying. We're back underway at Talladega. We'll see here. We'll stay in the zoom out a little bit, see if these guys can behave. We may get through 1 and 2 this time. There's G.J. Boydell looking for some help out that rearview mirror, wondering if the 75 can link up and get to him. Here comes the mayor. Can he give him a shot? The answer is no. Mike Cramner, too quick on the bottom, just pushing Terry Landis. Using that 171 for all he's worth is Greg Boydell to the outside. Tightening up, 2 by 2 by 2. Bill Calder floats up a little bit. He's able to gather it back in. Close call here, though, as we come down the front stretch. 3 wide. John Rayner on the upstairs. Andy Patton in the middle of the general. Looking to take command here early in the 87. And yes, that is a shot at you, Andy, for being an Eagles fan, but congratulations. Our Commanders have a bright future. But Terry Landis leading the way out front is the 302 of John Rayner. He's getting a little help up top here. They come 3 wide. Gary Singlecow, he's going to go up there, the yellow truck, going to give him a good shove. So we roll through the middle of 3 into 4. 3 wide back here in the back. John Rayner just doesn't have anybody close enough to that tail tank right now to really give him the shove. Side by side coming to the line. Who's it going to be? Greg Boydell or Terry Landis? It's the Desert Demon here with 6 laps in. The 302 of John Rayner not going away upstairs, just pesky, trying to find it as Scott Seneker gets into that outside wall in that black truck. A little lower down and pull it back together, but Scott Seneker, that was a close call here in the early going. You don't want to be scraping that wall when you're at the tail end of the pack. You lose the draft, your race is over, but the 302 of John Rayner finally able to slot in low behind the 37 of Tim Chapman. He was done playing the 3 wide game. Now Gary Singlecow is going to carry the torch. Here comes the 25, 3 wide. Plenty of room at Talladega, and you're seeing them use it all. Gary Singlecow to the front. That's how you do it, Scott Seneker. What a shove from that one. Barney 3, oh, contact. Cars around. Tim goes to the inside. He makes contact. He keeps it straight, but boy, oh boy, a lot of cars in the back didn't. And the general, Andy Patton, he ends up in the inside wall. Able to keep it going straight, but we're under caution for the second time here at the Talladega Super Speedway. You'll see the 25 of Gary Singlecow just comes down over the nose of the 014. Greg Boydell nowhere he could go. And hard contact. The 325 gets in there. Andy Patton up and over, barrel rolling. That's 3. 3 rolls there in that 87. The hood flies up, lands on all 4s. Even keeps it off the inside wall. Andy Patton did. Goes into that little opening there. Readjusts himself. Maybe checks his shorts and fires that thing up and keeps it rolling straight. I forgot, it is all visual damage. Sometimes I get excited, I see those hoods flying, but it is all visual damage. They're running with no damage, I believe. Let's see if there are any drivers here who consider coming down pit road. We've got to think some of them would at least consider it, but you can't do it by yourself. You're going to need help here. It's a drafting racetrack, so you pit by yourself and you can stay out longer than everyone. Well, congratulations. They're going to catch you in about 10 or 15 laps. They're drafting behind you, so good luck if that's the strategy. I don't think that is the one I would try to use. personally. Let's sit here. Let's be surprised. Who are we going to get? Do we get any takers, or do we watch Terry Landis drive on by? Coming to lap number 9. Well, it looks like no takers so far. The 37 of Tim Chapman, he's going to dive on down. And, well, Tim, that's my dad. He's probably wishing I was out there with him, because that's the strategy I would have taken too, try to get a couple guys to mix this thing up, come in with me. But right now, the 37 caught out all by himself. Well, that is where, the other side of the coin, that is good. He won't get caught out. He'll be able to pit with whoever he wants. But not getting anybody else to sucker into your strategy with you kind of hurts. The 25 of Gary Sigelkow, he's not going to do it either. I thought maybe him coming around late, he'd duck it in pit road, but not yet. And as we get ready, we're rolling down the backstretch here. Going to come to 10 to go. The lights are off. So we'll go back racing this time. Terry Landis out front. Ooh, we see Scott Zeneker dive to the inside. What's going on with Scotty? Not too sure if Zeneker's having technical issues or what. Looking like... not too sure what's going on with the 143. Possibly asking for an EOL there, maybe having some shifter issues. He gets it rolling. He lines up in the back, though, so I'd imagine maybe he's just not happy with where he's starting, wants to be at the back here, pace himself, ask for an EOL. If you're Tim, you're trying to, I think, let that car around you. You're supposed to, but take the black flag. Can't sacrifice that track position if they're not getting up in front of you. Just got to ask for the clear. Seeing some drivers, trying to give up that spot back, I think. He's able to get it rolling again, but not necessarily the time to get these spots back as the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. We're going to be a quarter of the way through when we drop the hammer. 31 laps to go this time by. Mike Cramner taking a peek on the outside, and I believe that's G.J. Boydell doing it here in the second pack. Didn't like the start from the 0-1-2. Knows he needs to get rolling, and G.J. Boydell wasting no time getting that 0-14 to the top shelf. They're 3 wide behind the 87 of Andy Patton on the inside, the 325 there in the middle. The General decides to do the wise thing, back out of the throttle, get in line. We could have had something nasty going down the backstretch once again, and boy, oh boy, they are racing hard. They were 3 wide. Zeneker backs out. 143 looking to make some moves here again. Remember, he pushed that 25 right behind him on that outside 3 wide the last go round. And he's looking to do it again here. The 143 making it 3 wide through 1 and 2. And there we go. We saw it brewing. The 143 bounces around, comes down, goes across the nose, and like that, we're back under caution for the 3rd time. Let's just rewind it, do it this way here. We're going to go up to the blimp. We're going to slow her down. And, well, we don't like that. We're going to come here. So Roger maybe came up a tad. And there, the 143 thinks he's going to cut under Roger. And, well, Pat's there. He says, man, there's nowhere I can go, not on this short of notice. The 25 of Gary Sigelkow, he gets shoved up in the outside wall. And just like that, back under caution. And coming around, nobody hitting pit road just yet. Because I think we got a little bit of time till we catch the Steve King Foundation pace car. But actually, during this downtime. You know, you saw the video there earlier. But February 16th to February 20th, Coast to Coast and Extreme E-Speed TV are teaming up for the second annual Speed Week, benefiting the Steve King Foundation. $500 in payouts and door prizes. We've got 2 different tracks, 10 cars, and 10 races. There will be a trophy for your overall champion. I believe a payout for the overall champion as well. That's included in that 500, I think. Let's see here. Looking like we're going to get a lot of takers on pit road this time. We're coming up on that point. Drivers don't want to get caught out there under the green flag. And well, if you're Tim Chapman, it looks like he's going to stay out. He's already pitted, but lots of cars coming in. And now, this is where, for the 37 of Tim Chapman, you're definitely banking on some late race cautions. But Gary Sigelkow and Tim have pitted a lap apart from each other, and you got to think here. Is there a strategy to maybe work together? Let's bring up... No, never mind. They clicked it to one to go. I can't do that. I just realized the lights were off on the Steve King Foundation pace car. I was looking to figure out who my commentator victim was, who I was going to pull up and talk to, but don't want to pull any drivers up here, especially ones that took tires and are trying to wheel themselves around and catch back up. Not the time you want to rattle someone's cage as a broadcaster, that's for sure. As we roll through 4 for the final time, we're going to see that pace car dive down to the left. There she goes. Coming to lap 14 when we take the green flag. Your 2 cars out front have not pitted at all. Gary Sigelkow and Tim Chapman, they have made a pit stop, laps 7 and 8. Gary Sigelkow 7, Chapman 8. Bill Calder in 5th has not pit yet either. So interesting strategies here for the top 5. We'll have to see if it pays off. Green flag's back out, and we're back a racing here at Talladega. Tough restart for these guys in the back here. We'll have to see if GJ's able to suck up with some draft. That's kind of at that dangerous mark. It looks like GJ is close enough here. Looking to get some help from the 75. Behind him, the Andy Patton. He's got to get in line. He needs to suck on up. Bob Curtis, way back there. He's going to lose the draft, and this could be a long run here for the 0-1-2. Pat Boyce leads the way. Roger Craig has since been bounced back to 3rd. And here comes Gary Sigelkow, the yellow jacket on the outside in the 25. Looking to sting early. We saw him with a big move. Had found his way up to the front, had come down across another nose of another driver, looped it around, but the 25 right back up to the front. Gary loves setting that pace in the 25. 3 wide behind. Terry Landis in the middle, Tim Chapman on the bottom, Bill Calder on the outside. As Willie, he wouldn't know that guy's got trouble with one arm right now, keeping her smooth on the outside. Looking fast in the 325. And here may come his taxi driver in the 014. Does GJ Boydell go on up there and help a buddy out? Does he let him fall in line? What does it look like here coming out of 4? Gonna look to the inside of the 325. Willie getting shuffled to the back as Mike Cramner looks to take over the lead out front. Lap 16 this time by. Oh, Willie gets bounced up into that outside wall. He hangs on to it for now. Got to calm down that 325, get back in line, doesn't want to lose the draft, and the mayor going to allow him to do just that. Steve Bixler knows if you want to win this thing, well, you better freaking be alive at the end. And we're looking at the view off the front end of the Salty Dog, Steve Bixler. 2 by 2 by 2. You're watching the front two bounce off each other. Keep your eye on that front pack. Gary trying to make it stick here on the bottom. Mike not going to shut the door. Bill Calder, he's got to come down pit road, and that's where you question that fuel strategy. Roger Craig may be in the same boat here in a couple laps. No, he comes up across the nose. Caution flag waves. Well, you knew it was brewing here. They're getting ready to go 3 wide, and as soon as they do, the contact's made. That's the 143. Roger floats up just a little bit, but there wasn't a lot of room there for the 143. Was looking to go 3 wide. Andy Patton turned as a result. And the general, man, he keeps racing his way to the front, keeps getting turned around. The 87's going to wonder what he's got to do different here tonight. Now, Pat Boyce, he is not pit yet. Expect to see this 41 come down pit road when we catch the Steve King Foundation pace car. Roger Craig, he will make his pit stop. Not too sure if we'll see guys like Tim Chapman, Gary Siegelkow sacrifice that track position and come on down, or what the move is, but this man, he's my favorite to pull up here and pluck. There's no reason. I mean, he's always talkative. He's always got something to say, and anytime I ask him a question, he's always got the answer. So let's find out. Terry, are we one stop in this thing? Can you go the rest of the way or no way?
Oh, no way. We only got 11 more laps of fuel left, so we're going to have to do another one, yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're looking at possibly even with green, white, checkered, maybe 2 more. So you're going to have to really stretch this thing out as long as you can. Do you think strategy plays into it at the end?
I think so. I think there's some guys here that play some strategy stuff.
Well, hey, good luck here the rest of the way, Terry. Give him hell, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Terry Landis rolling around in the 161 machine. It's Pat Boyce coming down pit road. Gary Siegelkow coming down pit road. And I'm telling you, if I'm the 37 of Tim Chapman there, you see those guys dive down. Those are your pit buddies. That's what you had to do. Now you're kind of stuck on your own. If you're that 37, he pitted on lap 8. The rest of the drivers pitted on lap 12 or later. So now the man really trying to make it stretch out there is going to be the 37 of Tim Chapman. He's trying to play the cards that he's been dealt, trying to find a way to get to the front. You see the leaders side by side. Wouldn't be surprised if either Mike Cramner lets Terry down in front, or maybe creates a little room for Terry somehow. Those two like working together. And if they could stay bumper to bumper here, coming to the end, they know they're both in a good spot to win this thing. You gotta make sure you're there when it counts. You gotta be there at the end. As Bill Calder, is he? Yeah, he's back out there. It's a lap down right now, though. Really wasn't able to get back on the lead lap. We're getting inching closer to that halfway point here. As we come up to lap 20. Be 21 laps to go here when we go back racing at the Talladega Superspeedway. 4 cautions so far. Have to see if green flag pit stops come into it. The 37, once again, he's going to have to hope for actually another cautioner. Man, oh man, he may get caught out. You heard Terry say he's got 11 laps left. The 37, 4 laps shorter than him, I'd imagine. He can maybe go 7 more trips around. So, going to have to hope for some luck. And it's going to come at somebody else's expense as we get ready to enter the Geico restart zone. Mike Cramner drops the hammer. We're back underway. Him and Terry Landis, just like I said. Terry slots right in, and the front 2 look to sail off into the sunset. Tim, he's just got to set that pace, hang on, be that 3rd, 4th car, and really try to make this fuel load go as long as he can. You got no business if you're the 37 trying to lead the way. At this stage, ducks down behind. He's going to have to figure out what he's going to do here. He sticks with Terry Landis. Terry's stuck down on the apron. Oh boy, he's able to get back up. But man, oh man, at what cost? A lot of other drivers had to back out. Close call, but smart racing here coming to the halfway point. Getting ready to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide here through the tri-oval. Steve Bixel on the bottom, the general up top. Mike Cramner, the meat in the middle. As Greg Boydell side by side trying to use that rear bumper to absolute perfection. The 0-14 leads at the halfway point. As we take a look from the blimp here, going down the backstretch, Greg Boydell leading. Mike Cramner P2, 2 by 2 through the whole field until you get to Bill Calder just kind of behaving back there in the back. But, you know, man, you can see the storm brewing here going through 3 and 4. They're starting to funnel back up. Scott Zeneker trying to make that outside line move as he pushes the 87 of the General, Andy Patton. Andy looking to get all the help he can get in the 2 black and red machines. Trying to roll that outside here at Talladega. If you get guys lined up bumper to bumper, I mean, I think, you know, you go watch a Pro Series event, they prefer the high side if you can really get it rolling. That's where you want to be. Keep that momentum up, keep close to that outside wall going down the straightaways, keep as much air off that front end as you can. Just find yourself going that much quicker. But Andy Patton not getting any help here from behind at the current moment. It's Roger Craig, he's looking to the outside. He's got Gary Sigelkow behind him. Gary, he's one of those ones, don't expect him to hang out back here long. This 25 likes to be up front, and I expect him to get there pretty quick. See Venom Racer, Venom Racing on the hood. Gary Sigelkow. Let's actually zoom out. Bill Calder, he wants in this thing. He took a peek. They were almost 3 wide. Gary thought about going up on that top shelf, but wisely backed out. Oh, there goes the 0-1-2 of Bob Curtis around. He's able to gather it up and keep it straight. No caution here. Boy, oh boy, tough break for Bob Curtis. As we go through the tri-oval, Roger Craig on the outside of the 37, just up the road, new leader, G.J. Boydell. Or same leader, excuse me. They're just using him to pick through that wind right now. And yeah, maybe green flag vibes. We'll see. See if this thing can ride out for a little bit. 17 laps to go. The 37, he's got to be getting close on fuel. Last pitted lap 8. Oh boy, they're making contact side by side. How did they continue Zeneker and Chapman really laying the wood to each other through 3 and 4, but somehow they come out shiny. Oh my God, I thought we were ready for another caution there. How does Zeneker and Chapman hold on to that? I mean, door banging through 3 and 4. Unbelievable. Mike Cramner just being patient in that 70 machine, watching GJ plug away. And I'm telling you, what this does to Greg is, if you lead this whole thing, you've got to hit a lap or two before everyone else. And you better hope you've got a friend or two that's going to go with you. If not, you're Greg. You want to slide out of line, and you want to let someone else lead a little bit. Try to slide into third, maybe fourth. Get down as early as you can. You don't want to be in the mid-pack, but you also don't want to be that battering ram there going through the air out front. You're just watching that fuel gauge go down. Oh boy, we're bouncing off the wall. Zeneker, he keeps it straight. No caution here as we continue. But Scott Zeneker, man, he's going to wish you would have got one. 15 laps to go. And we're starting to see a couple drivers. We saw Bob Curtis, Zeneker, Bill Calder. 3 drivers losing the front pack. And, well, that encourages long green flag runs here. So we'll have to see as we come out of 4 this time. Does the 37 have to duck down pit road? Not just yet, but boy, oh boy, it's got to be coming. Greg Boydell still leading the way. Mike Cramner, cool, calm, and collected in P2. And that's what you come to expect from Mike. Good, smart runs. Just keeps himself up there towards the top 5. And at the end of this restrictor plate racing, he knows you probably don't want to be up front on the last lap anyways. And that's when you wait to make your move. Mike Cramner doing a good job of just stalking his prey there in the 014. But the general, he's ready to go out front and be the snowplow. He gets a shot from the 747, and the general looking to set the pace here. Oh, Tim gets a shot in the rear end. Drivers getting ready to come down pit road. That's what it is. Good job by the 37 getting in and out. Getting in at least. Made up a bunch of spots. And, well, it looks like he's got some help. Very lucky for the 37 of Tim Chapman. That could have been bad news. As the front 6, 2 by 2 by 2. John Rayner, man, he got caught out. He's going to lose that draft. He's really hoping the gang pits this time. The 302 is going to need the entrance of his life to catch back up to that lead pack. And Terry Landis off pit road. Tim Chapman, guarantee you he didn't click off tires. Possibly sped. If he sped or didn't click off tires, either way, that's the end of his race. And with a pit time of 30 seconds, you got to think speeding for the 37. And that's going to be all she wrote for Tim as the 87 of Andy Patton, he comes around to put him a lap down. The general pacing himself out front. Greg Boydell, he loses it a little bit on pit entry. Mike Cramner gets way ahead of him. And with those two being the only ones to pit, when their drafting help, you got to imagine. 5-car pack out front. John Rayner able to take advantage of people lifting, getting into the pits. And it'll run these guys back down. But they go back and listen to me here. You're wrong if you're lifting on the racetrack. Like out front, Andy getting low. You're doing that way too early. Stay in the gas and get off like Roger just did. You're costing yourself too much time. Restrictor plate racing, I know it's not a lot of fun. But spend 5-10 minutes here at it in practice, and you're going to pull out some wins here on the racetrack. I guarantee it. As Gary Sigelkow out front all alone. Last pitted lap number 18 to 25. Let's find out. Mike Cramner. I think he's going to cycle into the lead when all is said and done. And let's find the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. He's a ways on back, but he's going to have some help here in the 75 coming up on the tail tank. Him and the mayor need to work together and try to run down Mike Cramner as quick as they can. See the Bassman Roger Craig. He's coming off of pit road. Where is Mike Cramner? Mike coming through the tri-oval. It is going to be close between him and Roger. Actually, may not be close at all. And I'll tell you, it goes back to if Roger wins this race, he nailed his pit road entrance. I'm glad we saw that live. That's it can be the difference. I mean, he's going to need to link up here with this lap car. Use Scott Zeneker for all he's worth and hopefully run down Tim Chapman as well. You get that 3-car pack, and Roger Craig going to look to ride off into the sunset here is Gary Sigelkow. He's currently your leader going down the backstretch, but he's running around all by himself in the 25. Going to have to pit. He's going to lose a lot more than 35 seconds coming down pit road here at Talladega. As Roger Craig, he is able to get to the rear end of the 143. Now, if you're Roger, you just suck up on this 143. You don't worry about trying to get out in front. You control your destiny here. Use him as the snowplow. Make him eat through his fuel. Make sure you can get this thing around to the end because it is looking good for the Bassman. 9 laps to go for the man out front, Gary Sigelkow. How long can he go is the question. He's been out there quite some time, and he's able to suck up on the back of the 014 Greg Boydell. You hear him coasting. He's just trying to go as long as he can, save as much fuel as he can. But I don't know. I just don't know if I like it right now. Roger, let's pull up lap times. Is Roger making enough time? Gary's actually been the quicker car the last couple laps, so maybe Gary doing enough here with having some draft help out in front. It's going to be anxious to see how much time he loses coming down pit road. But Gary Sigelkow drives on by one more time, gets the 8th to go, looks to the top shelf here of the 014, and not too sure what that's about if you're Gary Sigelkow, unless you think you can go the rest of the way on gas, which I think Terry Landis and the boys may disagree with you. You don't want to make that move. You don't want to pull around. But he does anyway, and now we see Andy Patton, or that wasn't Andy Patton, that was Roger Craig and Zeneker. Now they got a 3-man group here, as if they can just roll around, and that's exactly what Roger needs, is the boys behind here starting to link up. We got a 5-car pack. Now, did they behave? Did they let this thing stay green, or does somebody steal the bouquet here as Gary Sigelkow finally comes down pit road in the 025? What's it looking like? Where is Roger Craig? There is Roger Craig. He going through 3 and 4 right now, rolling behind the 37 of Tim Chapman. Now, not that they should, but Tim and Scott are battling for position. You know, not that that needs to be going through their head or they need to be worried about that. They need to kind of help the Bassman here play second fiddle as Gary Sigelkow pulling off pit road now. He's going to watch the leader go on by. And Roger Craig, he is just waiting. He wants somebody to bust the hourglass here and just drop all the sand out. 7 laps to go here. This is going to be a lifetime for the Bassman. The Bassman's got to get to Tim. Oh, wow. What is that about? And now Roger involved. Lap cars. Oh, man. Oh, man. And got to feel for Roger there. That is, that's a tough break. And we'll take a look here, but rewind it. We'll try to go in the overview. See here, so pay attention to that white line. Scott just turns down, comes way down. And Tim, when he overcorrects, he tries to correct but overcorrects a little bit, gets into the 143, and Roger Craig with absolutely nowhere to go, just finds himself in the door of the 37, and you got lap cars beating and banging in front of the leader. That's a tough break for Roger Craig, and you gotta wonder, maybe the 143 just zoned out for a second. Maybe didn't realize the leader was behind him. Not too sure, but side by side, beating and banging. That is probably not gonna make the Bassman too happy here. We'll have to see if drivers can get their lap back. That would allow Scott and Tim to get their lap back. It looks like Tim dip into that inside. Go around here, try to get his lap back. Is Zeneker going to do the same? Doesn't look like it. Stand there. There he comes. Now Steve Bixler out front. Should have 4 laps to go when we go green here. Lights are still on, so not going bad this time. Definitely running out of time, though, if you want to make a move. Now, we saw Gary Sigelkow show you. I mean, if you work the draft correctly, there's not an easier place to pass at Talladega. But you got to be smart. You got to use your head, and you don't want to race too aggressive. And got to know when to check up, when to keep that hammer down, and try to just make the gap. Try to make that car fit. Can definitely get it done. If you're at the tail end of the lead lap here, if you're Zeneker, if you're Chapman, if you're Curtis, you are not out of this thing yet by any means. Now Zeneker, he's coming around. He should have no problem catching up here because he's at full speed. The 37 of Tim Chapman, on the other hand, coming in, I believe, that long pit stop. I'm not too sure about that one. Don't know if I would have done that. Hopefully, he times it correctly, can get back out there. They're able to get back on the lead lap, get one last shot at this thing. Maybe at the same time, though, thinking, hey, we might not be done with the caution laps just yet. We got 4 more to go. Plenty of time for drivers to step on each other's toes here at the Talladega Super Speedway. As we roll through for the final time, the Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off. And Steve Bixler, the guy who we rode off the nose of him a little bit ago, he was riding around in the back, pacing himself in the early part, and look where he is now. Up towards the front when it matters here with 4 laps to go as the 75 gets ready to drop that hammer in the Geico restart zone, and we're back underway. 4 laps to play at Talladega Super Speedway. All drivers were able to catch back up, but now Bill Calder with a little bit of a shaky restart. He's going to hope that he can suck into that draft here. Tim and the 012 may have to work together. No, Tim goes to the inside. He said enough's enough as they're side by side for the lead going down the backstretch. Pat Boyce pacing the field in the 41 on the outside, but Steve Bixler gets a big push from Terry Landis in that Yoo-hoo machine. He's got the 75 rolling, no choice. The 161 gives him a big shove. Coming to 3 to go, the outside line, storming back. Mike Cramner with a big shove all over the back of that 41 as we drive across the stripe. Man, oh man, give it to the mayor, Steve Bixler, but that one was close. Steve on the inside, Pat on the outside. Salty Dogs 1 and 2 Can they hold on, or can Terry Landis get up there and spoil the party? Right now running on the inside P2, or on the inside third, but second in line. In that prime spot to strike, but you got to make sure you got a center, you got a high line that you can use. You don't want to get trapped down there on that bottom. And coming to 2 to go this time as we go through the tri-oval. Bill Calder, he's down low there, 3 wide. Tim's got to go up and make a little bit of room, but they live to race another day here. 2 more trips around here in Alabama. Bill Calder, he goes up high. He gets into the outside wall. They continue. Coming down the backstretch for what could be the second to last time. 2 to go. What happens? Drivers right now content. Does that mean we get a lot of mayhem here on this last lap? Roger Craig turns around. Caution flag flies for the 6th time. And we're going to get our first shot at a green-white checkered here at Talladega. As you see, not too sure here who is at fault. We'll go in the aerial. Let's see if we can take a look here. So Roger's getting some help here, the 143. He just floats up and comes back down, gets into the right rear of the 747, and just like that, Roger Craig hard into the outside wall again. And man, he's going to wonder what could have been tonight. He was running out front for a long time. Now 2 incidents here with the 143, and he's going to find himself at the tail end one more time. Steve Bixler catches up to the pace car. We'll see. Do drivers have enough fuel to get to the end? We're going to find out. Let's pull up the man out front. We'll see if we can plug his brain a little bit. Does he pull down? Does he pull down? We'll wait to see if he pulls down. 41 thinking about it. Couple guys thinking about it. All right, Mayor, you're running out front here, man. We're going to have a green-white checkered. What's the fuel look like? Are we worried about another green-white checkered at times, or do we have enough?
We're real tight. We got just 2 laps remaining, so it's going to be real tight. I'm just running around here in 4th gear, so I don't burn any fuel now. So we'll see what happens here, but I think I'm going to be a little short. Maybe not.
Well, Steve, push in that clutch and get below the yellow line. I'm wishing you the best of luck here, brother.
All right, thanks, Shaggy.
We'll move him back home. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you see Pat behind you before I send you back home. He's down there. Get below that yellow line. Save some gas. You got this, Mayor. Moving back down there. But the reason we say that is, and it really does, I mean, you see guys do it in NASCAR, and with it being a video game, or the sim, I won't call it a video game, my apologies. You don't have to worry about the fuel load pickup. If you have fuel in there, it's going to pick it up, even when the car's at its side, for the most part that I've experienced anyways. Maybe I'm wrong, but at this point you just want to cut it down, roll the shortest way around the racetrack, and just keep clutching that thing, because you hear the guys up front. When did Steve pit? He pit lap 27. Well, Terry Landis pit lap 27. Scott Seneca pit lap 27. Everyone else 28, 29, or later. So they are going to be really, really close here. One fuel, and maybe that's why we saw the 37 gamble on not catching up, or possibly not catching up to the field on that restart, coming in topping off in case of a green-white checkered, and may end up looking like a genius here as we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time. Steve King Foundation pace cars lights off. Going to get ready to pull down into pit road. See that pace car dive off there. We can't see it. They're back there. We go a little bit on the left. Pulls off, and Steve Bixler ready to bring the field back. He chooses the outside. Pat Boyce on the inside. What happens here when we go back racing at Talladega? It's getting dark. No lights here in Alabama. But we might make some of our own. 2 laps to go. Green, white, checkered at Talladega. There you see it is. It's starting to get dark. The shadows may play a factor here in the late stages. Pat Boy's getting some help from the Desert Demon. And remember, Steve Bixler, he's worried about fuel out front, and he may have to worry some more. Oh, Gary Siegelcow and John Rayner. Tim Chapman comes across Andy Patton. They loop down on the inside, up and over, up and over. No caution flag waves. Gary rolling to the outside. Greg goes up, shows him the rear end. He's ready to go too as we roll through 3 and 4. If drivers behave themselves coming to the line, we're going to get the white flag one more trip around as we roll through the tri-oval. You see 3 wide there. No caution. White flag flies. We've got 1 lap to go. Pat Boyce trying to block. They're 4 wide behind him. Oh, Seneca on the bottom. He comes up, gets into Cramner. They go around. Pat Boyce out of gas on the inside. Terry Landis he gets it rolling back. Oh, wrecking up front. The 0-1-2 of Bob Curtis goes over. Meanwhile, Greg Boydell, he drives through clean as a whistle. Steve Bixler on the outside. Does he have enough gas to bring it home in the 75? The answer's no. He runs out of gas, and it's a 2-horse race here to the finish. John Rayner looks to the outside. He cuts under. Greg Boydell, he's going to hold his line. Come into the line. Through the tri-oval for the final time. Side by side, they touch. John Rayner goes low. Give it to John Rayner at the line. He steals it from Greg Boydell. Roger Craig sneaks home P3. And what could have been night for the Bassman. But man, oh man, as the checkered flag flies here. Let's rewind here for a second. Now, I'm going to have to change this camera to look at this. So my apologies, but bear with us. We are going to freeze this as soon as... Okay, now, here's where the camera work comes into play. Give me a minute. Sorry, spinning it a little too much. But I'm going to go low here. Spin it one more time, get it as straight as we can. And we are going to inch this thing forward. And look at that. That is when the 302 of John Rayner hits the line, okay? Right there. I mean, you can see it. It's maybe half an inch before. But Greg, I mean, he beats him by what? A foot and a half. Unbelievable finish here at Talladega for these two. And with a 0.003 of a second win, John Rayner brings home the checkered flag in one of the best finishes we've had here on Old Timer Tuesdays for the Masked Avengers asphalt portion. We were spoiled here tonight, and man, oh man, let's see if we can get a word here with our top 3, the Bassman, Roger Craig. Able to bring it home after a tough race. And it really is going to be a what could have been night for Rogers. Found himself running up towards the front, towards the end. But Roger, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy? As he may be hitting the iRacing talk button.
I'm here.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Just trying to shake the webs out of my head.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, man. I mean, not much to say. I mean, you saw what happened, but you're running around there, 8 to go, and you got to think, man, you got 2 cars in front of you. You use them as help. a 4-second lead. I mean, without some tough luck, I mean, you're probably bringing home the checkered flag tonight.
Yeah, but I wanted to leave a gap with those guys in case what happened. But the guys were coming from behind. There was 6 seconds and 4 seconds. So anyways, it was I lucked out to get a third here. Bixler ran out of fuel, and I ran out of fuel on the victory lap. So it's and it looked amazing finish too. I saw the graphic he put up.
Yeah, 0.003 of a second. It was crazy. I mean, that had to be less than a foot. I'd love to know what the math is whenever you're going that fast. I could probably figure it out. Have to do some research. But man, that was we were spoiled there. It's a shame you weren't there in the top 2 spots. As man, you had a really good run. And Roger, I can't not highlight, and don't be afraid. Be honest with everyone out there, because man, it's a big part of the racing. Have you been practicing those pit stops this week? Because, dude, you killed it. I mean, you made everybody else look like a kindergartner out there.
Just old man's luck then, I guess, because I haven't been practicing. But hopefully that'll roll over to the next race. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a couple guys dive off early, and, you stay in the throttle, go around the outside. I mean, with that much room to play, you saw the benefit. I mean, you made up 5-6 seconds on the field. How important are green flag pit stops here the rest of the way out, since we have the limited fuel load?
Yeah, it was, the one difference here now is with the damage off is when you're in a wreck, you don't back off. You just drive through it because your car's going to heal. So it's, but unfortunately we had too many wrecks tonight. So we'll have to address that.
Well, Roger, congratulations, man. Good run on the podium. Who you want to thank?
First and foremost, thank my wife. I just got the kitchen pass to move my rig out of the back room in the basement into one of the bedrooms. So that's an upgrade for me. And want to thank the Salty Dogs. We have a great time no matter what happens. So thanks to them. And thanks to you, Shaggy. You do an awesome job. We're really privileged to have you.
Man, it was a lot of fun. That was a great finish. Finishes like that make up for anything. That was bad. That was amazing. Congratulations on the P3, and good luck here the rest of the way, Roger.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Shaggy.
Now we're going to pull up your winner here in the 302, John Rayner. John, man, oh man, 0.003 of a second. What's going through your head coming to the line as we watch you beat and bang, man? What a treat.
How do you like that for a finish? I planned that.
Yeah, I mean, when you're coming down the backstretch, obviously, okay, you see, I believe that was Steve, ran out of gas. Just 2 of you. You got to think you're in a good spot, but man, that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Did you think it was going to be that close? Hey, John, somehow we got you moved down to the waiting room. Sorry, John. I'm not sure how that happened.
But, I think that was my...
No, you're okay. But, man, how you like I was saying, you're coming down the backstretch, okay? Bixler runs out of gas. You're there in P2. I mean, that's prime spot drafting, but, man, that was a close finish. Did you think coming to the line it was going to be that close?
No, I did not. No, that was... Yeah, that was nerve-wracking coming down the back straightaway with Greg there. I know Greg's a fantastic driver, and I was trying to stay with him as close to him as possible without hitting him, and we were doing a little bit of banging going down there. But yeah, that was really, really close. I wasn't too sure at the end of the day who ended up winning, but yeah, that was fun.
No, I honestly, when I'm watching it live, you can hear me pause. I truly thought Greg was going to beat you back, because when you guys touch through the tri-oval, you lose the rear end a little bit, man, but you're able to keep the hammer down and go the short way around and beat him by 0.003 of a second, John. Unbelievable. That's got to be less than 1.5 feet. I mean, when you go back and look at it, crazy. One of the best finishes we've ever had, man. Congratulations. Who you want to thank?
Yeah, thank you very much, Jake. Yeah, I certainly want to thank you and your broadcast team. You guys always week to week do just such a great job, that's for sure. We have a lot of fun with you broadcasting. Yeah, I'd like to thank our Salty Dogs racing team, Flatline Racing Bodies, Mauer Farm Management, yeah, they're always there for us all the races and that. Want to thank Roger for putting all this together and all the guys in the background. And yeah, so thank you very much.
Hey, great run, John. Man, that was, like I say, well earned. I'm excited after that one. No way I'm falling asleep now. Congratulations on that big win, and I look forward to a lot more of them, man.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
John Rayner, man, stealing it at the line. The 302 doing it in style, 0.003 of a second. Good win for John Rayner. Congratulations to him and Brian Moore Sr. picking up your main events tonight. Brian Moore winning the Mauer Farm Management 360 Sprints. And, of course, John Rayner bringing home the Masked Avenger Asphalt Series portion. And, man, did it in style. Congratulations. And on behalf of everyone here at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, I'm Zach Chapman. I'd just like to say thank you for tuning in. We'll be back live again tomorrow night for Hometown Heroes at the Huset's Speedway. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a show. And, well, have a wonderful evening.